Hey everybody, we're Tillison Consulting and we love digital marketing, and you're listening to the Inside Digital podcast. This is your one-stop shop to learn and expand your knowledge within the digital marketing space. It's never been more important to have an online presence, and in this show, our experts will talk about SEO, PPC, and everything in between. They'll share their personal insights, experiences, and strategies they're taking advantage of so the rest of us can do the same. Here's today's episode.
Welcome to Inside Digital. Today we are talking about stupid mistakes that most small businesses make with Facebook ads. So criminal amount of money wasted on Facebook ads, like just really ineffective. So we wanted to share with you the 5 most common things that we see to help you avoid these daft mistakes. So I'm Mark Tillison. I've been working in e-commerce for about 18 years, scaled a whole bunch of businesses to 6-7 figures and beyond, and I'm joined by Tom.
Hello. I work with Facebook ads quite a bit in Tillison. I'm campaign manager, and it's crazy how many mistakes happen on Facebook.
Yeah, some real obvious stuff.
There's a lot of obvious stuff, and hopefully watching this will give you some insights. You can go back to look at your Facebook ads and be like, oh yeah, we can just quickly have a quick change there and mix things up a bit and make them better. So that's what it is.
I think we should first start by saying when we talk about Facebook ads, we mean meta ads.
Yes.
Right. So the platform historically is Facebook ads. It's now meta ads, and they serve on Facebook and Instagram. So this kind of applies to that whole ecosystem. So I'm going to go first. So targeting is the biggest kind of mistake I think that we see. So either too broad or too narrow.
Yeah.
So if you go super narrow and the audience is really small, then your CPMs, the cost per thousand, the cost of running those ads is going to be more expensive. So Meta likes you to be pretty broad in terms of your targeting, and then you will find that the CPM, the cost per thousand, is a bit cheaper. And then with enough conversion data, Meta is going to work out this bit works well, that bit doesn't, and it will then begin to optimize that based on that performance, assuming that you have set the correct outcome, which we'll come on to in a bit. So do you have any, can you think of any examples of kind of too broad or too narrow?
So we work with a couple of schools, and you imagine that obviously just schools are education, and we inherited an account once that was targeting just education, and that's it. There was nothing else. There's nothing really. They wanted to get more people to their open days and more awareness of their school as well. And obviously, targeting people that are interested in education, that's a good thing to do for a school. But it was entirely too broad for what they wanted, and they were just getting traffic from all over the place.
This could be any level of education.
Any level of education.
So this could be like preschool. This could be university. This could be like super broad.
And Facebook's catalogue of interests and stuff you can target is kind of broad and not so broad in itself. But you can target the different sort of types of education. Yeah. And this one was just simply, I'm interested to be educated, and that's not going to help, and you're not going to find the right people to talk
I'm
about.
interested in humans.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm interested in food.
So when it comes to that, it was just too broad. So it's quite an easy fix, really, because they thought they're doing the right thing because it fits with their brand, it fits with what they are and who they are.
We are education, therefore we should target people interested in education.
Yeah, it's fair enough.
Logically makes sense.
Yeah, it does logically make sense.
But completely, massive fail.
No, that was a mistake, and they can easily just add a bit more targeting into there. Not much. You can add a few more targeting interests like secondary education.
Make it more relevant.
Interest to college or anything like that. Yeah, there are things that we just got to think about what people are searching for as well and looking for on Facebook. That's ideally what
that means is, although the CPMs might go up a little bit on that, they're much more valuable. So the return that you get from it, it's a much greater investment. So way more you might say, it's 50% more expensive doing it that way, but you were probably wasting 80% or 70% or 50% of what you were doing before. So actually, even this has gone up. In reality, the net result is it's cheaper or not cheaper, it's more expensive, but you're reaching a more specific audience, so you get much greater value.
Definitely. And on the other end of the spectrum, on the end of the scale, if you have too much targeting in there, then you're just going to have tightly wound Facebook, and it's not going to work at all.
Yeah.
It's just going to.
I want an ad that targets 35-year-old men who are interested in cars, and then I've got another ad set with 36-year-old men that are interested in cars.
Yeah, exactly,
and then an ad set that is targeting people like women who are 39 and interested in cars. Or just stacking and layering audiences, and just too tight, and then it gets unmanageable. There's not enough data for the machine to learn what works or what doesn't, and the whole thing just falls in a heap. You just choke the whole thing.
No, exactly, and you won't really know where it's failing either. So it's best to find that healthy balance. Not really a helpful thing, but it's try and find what people of your audience are looking for and hoping to find. And
test and measure, see what happens.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Good. Next.
Cool. Next one is neglecting the ad creative. Now, a good 70% of the ads on Facebook is the creative, and without a good creative, everyone, whoever looking at your ad is going to miss your ad, scroll past it, and then that ad has failed. So it's completely pointless. So you can't neglect the ad creative these days. It's extremely important because it's just what people are going to see first. It's what's going to stop that thumb from scrolling as well.
Yeah, you got to work really hard on those thumb stops.
Yeah, really, really hard. And that, whether that's images, carousel, the ones that swipe, video, anything that just what you think resonates as much with the audience is where we test tons as well. You've got to A/B test your images and everything like that. And you ad creative actually, not just images. Yeah,
definitely test the different types because your audience or whatever it is you're advertising might work well in, I'm sure there's lots of people that say video is the best. And video is the best when video is the best.
Yeah, of course.
But sometimes, like we've had campaigns where I've thought, that's a great video, and we run an image ad alongside, and the image just massively outperforms it.
Yeah.
And it's completely unexpected. So, even someone with a whole ton of experience, you can be proven wrong by the data. So you definitely want to think about, a carousel versus video versus image versus different types of images, and test those, and then start drilling down into the ones that work better.
Yeah. Definitely.
But I think the financial part of it, in terms of performance is you have to remember that that's inventory, that's an asset for Facebook. So it wants to earn money from it. And if the users are not engaging with your ads, then it's going to start pushing the cost up.
Yeah.
Whereas if they do engage with your ad more, which is what you want as well, then you're going to get rewarded for that. So you never stop evolving A/B testing that creative. And that is, it's free as well. You don't get charged per ad. No. You could have 10 ads or 5, it's still the same price. Right. So, I think the creative, if you're an e-commerce store, for example, then just putting here are our products, here are our products, here are our products. They don't particularly stop people. If you've got a story around that, those are the ads that tend to do better. And if the ads don't look like an ad, then they do better. Yeah. So a lot of the times it's more about kind of sliding in, thinking about. Someone sees that and it looks like something their friend has posted. Those ads can work incredibly well.
Yeah, they do, yeah.
That said, of course, if you're Amazon, then everybody knows you sell products and you swipe forever oh, that's good and that's nice. But there's very few Amazons in this world, one.
No.
So,
and that's what you're competing against them as well, aren't you? So you obviously got to be there to be in front of them and be better than them in a way. With whatever resonates with your audience, of course, as well. So.
Okay. So moving on to mistake number 3 is not using the pixel or using the pixel incorrectly.
Yes.
Which is huge. So Facebook Pixel is going to educate Facebook about how users are interacting with your website. Obviously, we are in the middle of this whole cookie stuff at the moment, and that's a third-party cookie, and there are issues around that. But Facebook Pixel actually kind of telling Facebook, these are people who are visiting my website. These are people who are viewing 2 or 3 pages. These are people who are viewing this particular page or this category or this product. And the more data you can kind of give Facebook, the more you can start building audiences and segmenting that. So it's pretty easy to create an audience of people that have bought stuff.
Yeah.
You definitely should, if you're an e-commerce store and you're running transactional ads to drive sales or even drive leads, the pixel is going to be that conversion tracking. So what you're doing is telling Facebook, look, this worked. Do more of that, please. Yeah. Like without the pixel, you're not going to have that data.
You're flying blind, aren't you?
Yeah. So I think that's super important. Just making sure you have that pixel installed and you've configured it and audiences, things like that. And that can be then used for dedicated campaigns. Yeah. Like I want to target people who have visited my website or visited this category in the beauty category in my e-commerce store. So I'm going to target people who have visited the beauty category with beauty ads, or maybe the exact product that they looked at but they didn't buy. Targeting people who have abandoned the cart, that kind of thing. Yeah. So you can build those audiences, really, but that's all powered through the pixel. Yeah. So that's my number 3 is Facebook pixel. That's a big mistake. People just miss that.
Yeah, just another thing on that as well. Just it's not quite technical. It's a bit technical. So it's good to get some help if you need on to it. It needs to be added to your website usually, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. Just so it reads the websites as well as Facebook reading your website. It's just a little bit of technical know-how to do that. But there are loads of tutorials online to help you out with that. And so this is one thing to know. Next thing is a mistake you see quite a lot actually, is choosing the wrong campaign objective. So Facebook, when you're starting a new campaign, there's quite a few objectives to choose. You've got reach, sales, conversions, purchase. There's quite a few different ones. They actually keep changing them up, which is quite annoying. But there are quite a few. They all have the same premise though. And so if you're really if you want brand awareness or reach, you should be going for the reach objective. But if you want conversions, then maybe the sales is probably better for you. But what we've seen is obviously a mixed match of others as well. And people are using the wrong objective for the campaign, which means the campaign starts to learn wrong and it's just not going to work for what you want it to work for, pretty much.
The objectives are really literal.
They are, yeah.
They are really literal. So if you say, no, I just want clicks to my website, then Facebook is going to target users who will click.
Yep.
That doesn't mean necessarily they're going to buy. And remember, Facebook has tons of data about everybody that uses Facebook that says, this girl's a clicker. She's a clicker. She just clicks everything. Oh, you want clicks? You're getting Jenny. She's a clicker. She never buys anything. But you didn't tell me that. Yeah, you said you wanted clicks. You never mentioned sales.
Exactly.
So I'm just going to send you loads of Jennies all clicking all day long and you're going to get a ton of traffic.
Yep.
And maybe some people will buy something. But that's not what you asked for.
No.
You asked for clicks.
Yeah.
Right? You asked for brand reach. You asked for engagement. We're going to get lots of people who engage. That may be good engagement, that may be bad engagement, but these people engage. They like to have a moan on adverts. They like to reply and go, I hate adverts and all that rubbish. Yeah. That's what you asked for. That's engagement.
Effectively, that's what the objective's done.
It's doing what you asked it to do.
Isn't it? Yeah.
It's doing what you asked it to do. Now, if you then say, maximize my revenue, and maybe that is your objective, then it's going to try and maximize your revenue and target people who are more likely to buy.
Yeah.
But going back to one of the points we said earlier about having the pixel, you need to tell Facebook, Meta, this is converting. This is where my revenue is coming from. So then it can test and measure all your different creatives across Instagram, across Facebook, across all of the different micro segments within that, all the different placements, which is the placement that's driving revenue, which is the ad in that placement, which is driving revenue. I'm going to learn from the data I have from the pixel to then get you more of that. So it's very, very literal. But yeah, I mean, we see even now people boosting posts. We had that just recently. It's like Fisher Price version of
it really is.
Ads. And it just blows so much money.
Yeah, they do. They make it easy to you boost this post one button. Why would you not do that if you don't know if you haven't had knowledge in advertising before? It's fine. You're just going to press it on you. They know you're going to do that.
Just reach more people.
But that's it. Yeah,
great. And maybe that is some people's objectives.
Yeah, of course.
I like the money. Where's the money? Where are the sales? That's
and if you're an e-commerce store, hopefully that'll be yours too. So,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like, just stop no, get me loads of clicks. It's like, but you need to focus on where the value is.
Yeah.
So you definitely want that set, and to do that, to pick the right one, you've got to be able to give Facebook the data when that is working. Otherwise it can't learn and then it doesn't work. So it's kind of a couple linked together.
Yeah. There's no harm as well in doing 2 campaigns with 2 different objectives. Campaign wise, you can have a campaign doing reach, campaign doing conversions. That's fine because they're both going to be doing different things and learning all the same time.
Yeah, I'd be a bit careful with that because you're potentially targeting the same people with 2 different campaigns with 2 different objectives. So you end up, your sales campaign and performance is influenced by the fact that you've got this other kind of brand or reach campaign, and this is influenced by this one. So if you kind of go, oh, this is working really well, and turn that one off, then this doesn't do the same thing because you've changed the environment.
Yeah.
So I think you do have to be a bit careful, but yeah, or you exclude one audience from the other, or something like that. Yes. There's some funky stuff.
Definitely.
But yeah, I think so. The targeting definitely kind of you have to get that right, and that's something we see get wrong all the time. The ad creative. You're absolutely right. Like I think probably you're underplaying that at 70%. I think it's way more important than that. It literally is the thing that's going to make it work or doesn't. You could get everything else right, but if the creative doesn't stop people scrolling and doesn't engage people, then the whole thing fails.
Yeah, what's the point?
It's like email. You get the subject line wrong. It doesn't matter how great that email is. It doesn't matter how great that landing page is. It doesn't matter how great that product is. No one's buying it because they're not viewing the page.
Yeah,
why? Because they didn't click. Why didn't they click? They didn't open the email because the subject line failed. So you've got to absolutely get that right. The Facebook pixel for tracking and informing your campaigns when they're doing well, so the machine can learn, I want more of that because that's your objective.
Yep.
And setting the right objective. So the final one is, and this happens a lot, is this kind of apathy of, well, I've built my campaign, it's running, it's great, and then just leaving it, and just set and forget. I think there are some campaigns that can work really well, but I think you're always looking for that extra. How do I get a little bit more? How do I get a bit more? How do I get a bit more? So actually evaluating that data, again coming back to the pixel, the objective, what is working, what isn't, the thing that's working. Like if that's, I don't know, let's say it's an image ad, how do I double down on that? How do I create a second version with a slight tweak that I think is going to help the performance even more? So, we talk about, this huge power of 6. So if you were to run a Facebook campaign or Meta ads campaign over, let's say you're doing that over a 12-week period or a 12-month period, actually, if you can improve the performance of that by just 6%, if you can increase the click-through rate by 6% by having a more impressive, a more engaging creative, you could realistically do that in a week, right, with enough data.
Yeah.
And the next week you double down on that again, 6%, and the next week 6%, and then you make some changes to your landing pages, another 6%, right? Yeah. If you can do that 6% 12 times, you will double the performance of the campaign. You will literally get twice as many leads or twice as many sales for exactly the same budget, because you made those 6% increases, improvements. And that's actually pretty easy to do if you know what you're doing. So, right? But yeah, you definitely do not want to set and forget. Your campaigns, your ads, your ad sets, the audience is going to get bored of them. Eventually they'll start seeing the ad will be shown to the same people over and over again, or Facebook will learn, maybe it works really well, and you forgot about it, went and did something else. It's merrily spending a little bit of money every month. And then you look 6 months later and it's not really doing anything, or the performance is poor. Yeah, and that's because the audience has got bored of it, or Facebook's just can't, it was working and then suddenly it's not working because they got bored of it. So it's trying all this weird and wonderful stuff, and the machine is putting your ads in front of people that are not going to buy.
Exactly.
So, you definitely cannot just leave it. You can't leave the machine unattended.
No way. And little iterations you can make are just, as you say, the creative is quite a big one. The ad copy as well. Look at the target or the audience. Just little things you can actually do. Quite a lot of things actually. So inside the campaigns, you can make tweaks that every now and again when you need to, not all the time, because you need Facebook to learn, obviously. Keep an eye on it. It's one of those. I'm amazed when people don't. We press go and then that's my job done, sort of thing. It's just not. You need to keep an eye on it.
The power's in the optimization.
It really is. Yeah. Pressing go is nothing, because Facebook then takes around 2 weeks to learn. Then after that, then the good stuff starts happening, because hopefully it's starting to learn and it's working. But then you're hopefully in those 2 weeks looking to optimize or looking for ideas to optimize, and then you have the chance to do so.
Yeah. And the more you do to improve the performance, then, without increasing the budget, you're just going to get more revenue or more leads. Why wouldn't you do that?
Yeah, that's a no-brainer, isn't it? Really?
I mean, that's crazy. Why wouldn't you do that? So, yeah. So I hope that's been useful for you anyway. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. And we'll see you another time on Inside Digital.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us for this episode of the Inside Digital podcast. Make sure to visit our website at tillison.co.uk, where you can read more about the topics discussed in this show and much more. If you're looking to get started or to continue your digital marketing journey, we can help. Just reach out to one of our experts through our website. We'd love to hear if you found value in this show. Please leave a review and be sure to tune in for our next episode.